Hi, I'm Ben. I'm here to learn English.
And I'm Emma. I'm here to help.
Let's learn together.
Let's learn together. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ben. Hello, friends. We are so happy to see you again.
Today, we are going to practice English for the IELTS Speaking test. Our topic is Talk About Your Home.
Yes, talking about your home is a common question in the IELTS test. So today, we will give you examples, vocabulary, tips, and small stories.
Let's start with greetings. Ben, how do you ask someone about their home in a simple way?
I usually say, "Can you tell me about your home?" Or, "What is your home like?"
Right. And sometimes people ask, where do you live? Or what kind of house do you live in?
Exactly. And when someone asks, you can say, "I live in a house," or "I live in an apartment," or "I live in a small village."
Let's do a short practice dialogue.
Okay, I will ask first. "Hi, Emma. Can you tell me about your home?"
Hi, Ben. I live in a small apartment in the city center. It has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. I like it because it is cozy and quiet.
That's great. You can also add details about your favorite room or space. For example, my favorite room is the living room because I relax there and read books.
Yes, adding details makes your answer longer and more interesting. And in IELTS speaking, that is very important.
Let's talk about some useful vocabulary for talking about homes. Emma, do you want to start?
Sure. One word is apartment, which is a house in a building with many other houses. For example, I live in an apartment on the 3rd floor.
Another word is house. A house is usually a building for one family. For example, my house has a garden.
Good. Another word is furniture. Furniture is things like chairs, tables, and beds. For example, my bedroom has a big bed and a desk.
Yes, and we can also say garden. A garden is a place outside your home where you can plant flowers or vegetables. I like my garden because it is green and peaceful.
Another useful word is cozy. Cozy means warm and comfortable. For example, my living room is cozy. I like to read books there.
That's a very good word. And we can also use spacious, which means very big and open. For example, my kitchen is spacious, so I can cook easily.
Now let's practice making a sentence with these words. I will try. I live in a cozy apartment with my family. The living room is spacious, and my bedroom has a comfortable bed. I also have a small garden where I grow flowers.
Excellent! That is very clear and natural.
Another tip for IELTS speaking is to share small stories. Stories make your answer more interesting.
Right. For example, instead of just saying, "I have a garden," you can say, "I have a small garden. Last week I planted tomatoes and they grew very fast. I was very happy."
Yes, that gives your answer life and shows the examiner you can speak naturally.
You can also compare homes. For example, I used to live in a small house in the village, but now I live in an apartment in the city. I like my apartment because it is close to my work, but I miss the quiet village.
That is a great idea. Comparisons help you express opinions and practice new words.
Let's talk about common mistakes. Emma, what mistakes do you see often in IELTS speaking about homes?
A common mistake is giving very short answers. For example, just saying, I live in a house. That is correct, but too short. You need to add details, feelings, and maybe a small story.
Another mistake is using words incorrectly. It's better to use simple words correctly than difficult words incorrectly.
Exactly. For beginners, simple and clear English is the best choice.
Now, let's do a practice dialogue together for our listeners. I will ask and you answer, Emma. Hi, Emma. Can you tell me about your home?
Sure, Ben. I live in a cozy apartment in the city center. It has 2 bedrooms and a small balcony. I like it because it is quiet and bright. My favorite room is the living room because I can read books and drink tea there. Last weekend, I cleaned the balcony and planted some flowers. It was fun, and now my balcony looks beautiful.
Wow, that is an excellent answer. Long, clear, and natural.
Yes, you can also add details about your neighborhood. For example, I live near a park. I like to walk there in the morning. The park has trees, flowers, and a small lake.
That is perfect. It makes your answer longer and more interesting.
Another tip is to use linking words. Words like and, because, also, but, and so help your answer sound smooth.
For example, I live in a small house and I like it because it is cozy. I have a garden and I also have a small study room.
Another fun idea is to compare rooms in your home. For example, my bedroom is small but comfortable. The living room is big and spacious. I like both rooms for different reasons.
Yes, short adjectives like small, big, cozy, comfortable, spacious, bright are very useful for beginners.
And listeners, don't worry if you make mistakes. The most important thing is to practice speaking every day. The more you practice, the better you get.
Absolutely. And you can practice with a friend. Ask each other, can you tell me about your home? And give a detailed answer.
Now we can give a final example together. Ben, do you want to start?
Sure. I live in a house near the river. My house has 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a living room. My favorite place is the garden because I like to grow vegetables. Last month, I planted carrots and tomatoes, and they grew very fast. My neighbors are friendly, and I enjoy living here.
Great. Now I will try mine. I live in a cozy apartment in the city center. It has 2 bedrooms and a balcony. My favorite room is the living room because it is bright and I can read books there. Last weekend, I planted flowers on the balcony. I feel very happy when I see them grow. I also like my neighborhood because there is a park nearby.
Excellent. Both examples are clear, natural, and detailed. That is what the IELTS examiner wants.
Listeners, you can practice like this too. Add details, small stories, and opinions.
And remember, use simple words correctly and practice speaking every day.
That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed this lesson about talking about your home for IELTS speaking.
Don't forget to practice with a friend or even by yourself. It really helps.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you learned new vocabulary and useful tips.
Please subscribe to our podcast and like this episode if you enjoyed it.
And we will see you in the next episode. Keep practicing English and have fun.
Bye, everyone. Keep learning and keep smiling.
Bye.